All right, so companies are pouring billions and billions of dollars into AI, right? But so many of them are just hitting a brick wall. It's weird. They've got the super powerful models, they've got these huge ambitions, but everything's just stalling. So what gives? Well, it turns out the problem isn't the tech. Not really. It's a leadership crisis. And today, we're going to dig into the rise of a brand new role that's meant to fix all of this: the Chief AI Officer.
You know, this quote just absolutely nails it. The obstacle is not the models, it is the data. I mean, think about it. You can have the most powerful, most sophisticated AI model on the planet, but if the data you're feeding it is garbage, well, you're just going to get garbage results. It's that simple. It's like owning a Ferrari but having no gas. This one thing, just messy, disorganized data, is the silent killer of AI projects everywhere.
So you'd think this would be a solved problem by now, right? I mean, look at this number. A whopping 84% of organizations already have a chief data officer. That role became a staple over the last decade. But, and this is the crazy part, even with all these data leaders in place, AI projects just aren't getting off the ground. So what is going on here? It's pretty clear that just hiring a CDO isn't cutting it.
Okay, and this is where it gets really wild. A recent survey found that 52% of data leaders themselves, I'm talking about the very people in charge of these AI projects, admit their own company's data foundation is weak. Just let that sink in for a second. The captains of the data ship are basically shouting that the hull is full of holes, right as they're steering straight into the hurricane of generative AI. Yikes.
So what this tells us is that this isn't just a data problem. Nope, this is a leadership problem. The incredible promise of AI has basically put a spotlight on a massive crack running right through the foundation of the C-suite. So what does this data dilemma actually look like in the real world? Well, picture this. Imagine you're trying to build a house, but your bricks are all over town, they're all different shapes and sizes, and half of them are just crumbling to dust. That is the reality for most companies' data. It's a total chaotic mess, and it forces these brilliant, expensive data scientists to spend most of their time acting like digital janitors, just cleaning stuff up instead of, actually building anything cool. To really get how we ended up here, we need a quick little history lesson. The role of the Chief Data Officer, it wasn't born out of some grand vision for innovation. It was born out of fear. Seriously. Back in the 2010s, a bunch of new regulations came out, and suddenly, companies were facing huge fines for data breaches. So they went into a defensive crouch and hired CDOs, a lot of them from legal or compliance backgrounds. Their main job was to be a gatekeeper, to lock the data down and protect the company, not to build cool new things with it. Well, that old defensive model just doesn't work anymore. It's completely obsolete. The age of AI demands a totally different kind of leader. And that's why we're seeing the rise of a brand new position in the C-suite.
And that brings us to the Chief AI Officer, or CAIO. Now, let's be crystal clear about something. This is not just a fancy new title for the old CDO job. Not at all. The CIO is a whole new breed of executive. Their job is to steer the entire AI strategy for the company. Think of them as this rare hybrid, part tech genius, part business strategist, and they are laser-focused on one single thing, turning all that AI potential into actual measurable business growth.
Now, if you're thinking, okay, is this just another corporate buzzword? Think again. If you need any proof that this role is absolutely essential, you just have to look at the highest levels of government. This isn't some fleeting trend. It's actually becoming official policy.
And I mean, this is a huge deal. In March of 2024, the White House issued an official mandate that every single federal agency has to designate a Chief AI Officer. When the federal government makes a move that sweeping, you know it's not just a fad. It's a fundamental shift in how organizations are structured and led.
So what does this person actually do? According to that memo, the federal CIO has three main jobs. Number one, coordinate how the agency uses AI. Number two, actively push for AI innovation. And number three, manage the risks that come along with it. See the balance there? It's not just about playing defense anymore. It's just as much about driving innovation forward.
And you got to understand, this is not some symbolic do-nothing role. The memo gives the CIO real teeth and mandates that they have a direct line to the very top of the agency. We're talking the deputy secretary. So this person is designed to be a serious power player, an influential leader, not just some advisor on the sidelines.
Okay, so the rise of the CAIO brings up a huge, critical question for every single company out there.
Should the person in charge of data and the person in charge of AI be the same person? This is the central debate happening in boardrooms all over the world right now.
And it really boils down to two totally different ways of thinking. What I like to call the protector versus the builder. The traditional CDO, that was the protector. Their job was all about risk, governance, and locking things down. But this new AI leader, the CAIO, is the builder. They often come from an engineering background, and their entire reason for being is to take those raw materials, the data, and build something amazing and valuable with it.
So, the big question remains, do these two very different mindsets belong in one job, or do you need two separate roles? Let's break down the arguments for both sides.
All right, so on one hand, you have the case for a single combined role. This argument is all about alignment. If your company is still trying to get its data house in order, having one person in charge creates total accountability. There's no finger pointing, it guarantees a single, unified vision for both data and AI, and it prevents different teams from working at cross purposes. It's really the simplest way to get everyone rowing in the same direction.
But then, on the other hand, there's a strong case for keeping the roles separate. This makes a ton of sense for companies where AI isn't just a tool, it is the product. Separating the roles allows for an intense, laser-like focus. You get one team that is completely obsessed with building world-class, rock-solid data infrastructure. And you have another team that is 100% dedicated to using that foundation to build incredible, cutting-edge AI products for your customers. It's all about specialization.
So, whether a company goes with one role or two, one thing is for sure. The demand for this new builder type of executive is just exploding. And the market is responding in a really fascinating way, basically creating a brand new pipeline to develop this kind of elite talent.
And you can literally watch this new talent pipeline being built in real time. Just look at the world's most elite universities. We're talking MIT, Kellogg, Wharton, Berkeley. They are all launching these super high-level executive programs designed specifically to train the next generation of chief AI officers. And this isn't some AI 101 class either. This is C-suite level strategy. When institutions of this caliber get in the game, you know for sure that a new, powerful, and permanent profession is being created right before our eyes.
So when you boil it all down, the takeaway is pretty simple. Winning with AI is not really about buying the fanciest tools. It's about empowering the right kind of leaders. It's going to take bold, technical builders, people who can finally take a company's messy data past and transform it into an intelligent future. So the real question for every organization out there isn't just if you'll need a chief AI officer, but who's the builder that's going to step up and take on that role?